So as you are building team and as you are getting super excited about, ooh, I could work with this person and ooh, I could work with this person. And maybe it's time to outsource some of this. And maybe it's time to get a partner. And perhaps even, if you're really lucky, it's time to hire a whole staff. Maybe it's time to hire salespeople. It just depends really on where you are in your business. But I'll tell you right now, if you haven't built a team, if you haven't built a community, and if you are not really concerned with making sure that they are aligned with you, making sure that they love the same things you do, making sure that they're as in it as you are, it's really hard to move forward at the speed at which you want to. I mean, it's like one of those, if you're dragging somebody, along a path and they really don't want to go. Have you ever taken your dog for a walk someplace where they don't want to go? Yeah. Imagine having a team full of those kinds of people. Success and progress get to be hindered a little bit, right? But today I want to talk to you about exactly why to build team that has nothing to do with who you're paying, who's paying you, who's on staff, who's not. This really is so much about who is in your front row. And I know you've heard that analogy before. It's the people in the front row that are your raving, crazy, amazing fans. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your raving fans are not always your clients. There's other people who are in that front row. Some of them actually are so integral to your success that they have moved from the front row to the wings. They are backstage with you. I mean, it just depends on where they're going to best serve you in your business. So today I want to talk to you about 3 specific reasons to build very, very carefully, build your team, and the 3 kinds of people that I would suggest you have in your front row. Now realize you don't have to do it this way, but they're your people, and it's not enough to hang out with people. It's not enough to network. It's not enough to have clients. It's not enough to have partners. You must have the right people for you. You must have the right partners for you, the right clients for you, the right team members for you. So with each category of person, you get to choose who best fits that description. And this is going to help you as you move to legend. So first, one of the things I really, really like about building a community and being part of a league is that you get market research. You get like instant, in the moment market research. If you have some kind of a community that is, whether it's based on Facebook or, back when we all got to meet in person, if it's a mastermind, one of the really great things about that is that you get market research. You can bring an idea, a topic for a course, for a tagline, for a new product, and say, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Now, having that tribe doesn't necessarily mean that they are your ideal client. And so realize that as they give you feedback, sometimes you're going to get a little bit of Statler and Waldorf. You're going to get peanut gallery going, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. And realize that if they're not your ideal client, take that feedback in the way it was intended and move forward. But you're going to have an opportunity rather than just throwing something out to the general public and saying, hey, by the way, what do you think? You can have these people that are trusted advisors. It's like having a board of directors for you and saying, this is what I'm thinking. Can I get some feedback here? Can I get so it really is like having a market research team in your company when you are part of something like the league. The second reason is there's a lot of noise out there. I don't know if you've noticed. I mean, it was getting really noisy before COVID and before the pandemic, but there were supposed to be 12 billion new devices coming online this year. And all that got bumped up. They're here. They're noisy. Everybody realizes that the way to build anything has to be online right now. So it's really, in addition to you being able to stand out in that crowd, it's really great to be able to reduce that noise to the people who matter most to you. Beyond family, friends, I'm talking business. So by having something like the league in your space and by creating that kind of a community, you can block out anything that is superfluous. Just let it go because you've got your people. You understand what they bring to you, how they support you, how they are adding to your success. And it really does reduce that kind of noise. You don't have to scroll through 18,000 pages on Facebook. You don't have to be friends with everyone and be connected to everyone on LinkedIn. You can be very strategic about that, and you can block out and reduce some of that noise. It's like a filter. It's not just the volume button. The volume button's turning off the machine, but it's more of a filter. You get to sort a little bit, just like you would with clients, just like you would with anything. You get to sort when you have that kind of a lead because you're like, these are my people. This is who I really need to focus on, rely on. These are my go-to. I mean, how many of us have that go-to person, that go-to group of people when we need something? That's that's part of that. Like, you don't rely on the thousands, rely on those who love you big. And the third reason why you get to intentionally build this team is to create deeper, more meaningful, more lasting connections. With all those new devices online, with all those new people online, with so many people begging for, demanding, asking for access to you, demanding your time, your energy, your bandwidth, it's really easy to be like, I know all the people and I'm friends with all the people. But are they friends? Are they connections? Like, actually beyond business card deep surface connections? When you create an intentional team, when you are a part of a community that you chose into, when you are part of the league, these people, you get to know them inside and out. You get to know there's so many things about their business. It's almost like it's yours. You get to actually understand what makes them tick. You have an opportunity to say, wow, that's why you do it that way. That's why. That's what drives you. That's your why. That's your why beneath your why. Deeper connections. I mean, brand has always been about creating connections, but realize that part of branding is not just connections with clients. It's creating those connections with team, connecting those people with you who love you and adore you, want your success, who understand where you are coming from, and are there with you through all of it. That's the kind of connection that 10 years later, you're still connected, whether you just saw each other a minute ago or not. That's the kind of connection. So, in addition to reducing the noise and having market research and having amazing connections, who do these people actually get to be in your space? What do they look like? What is that? What kinds of people do you want? Well, the first kind of people you really want are the ones that they, it's not necessarily who they are, but it's who they know. Who are they connected to? So one option, for example, is if you are a part of a networking group. I'm a member of eWomen. I'm a member of Leading Ladies USA. I'm a member of Public Speaking Association, the Women's Speaking Coaching Association. There's different associations that I'm a part of, and there's different networking groups that I participate in and claim as my own. Where are you going? Where are you spending your time? And what are you getting out of it? One of the really great things to ask yourself before you just sign up for a new group, a new networking group, or whatever, is what do I actually want out of this? Are these my clients? Or are these the people who can introduce me to my clients? So one of those types of people that gets to be in your very front row is people who can connect you to the people you need. If you are a speaker, this may be someone in this Public Speakers Association. By the way, I can introduce you. It might be people like event coordinators. If you really want to be a speaker, if you want to get out there, look for somebody like that. But part of it is opportunities, and part of it is being able to go into your community and saying, who do you know who does this? And you get 5 people who are trusted and vetted and ready to go. So the first type of person to put in your front row is people who know who you need to know. And if you're really lucky, you can get a person who kind of goes from that group to the mentor who knows the people you can't not know. And there's a difference. So be sure you have people in your front row who can connect you and who know who you need to know. Not just because you asked, but because they can see where you're going through. They can see where you're going and go, ooh, I need to connect you with this person. Make sure they're in your front row. The second one is you want to make sure that you have people in your space that are like-minded. And that does not mean they agree with you all the time. That does not mean they're going to just nod and go, yes, yes, everything you say is golden. Everything you say is a great idea. Go, go, go. These are people who are as committed to growing their business as you are. They're as committed to making their business next year, looking back and going, this is unrecognizable. I have grown so much. I have changed so much. I have evolved and built my business so much. I can barely recognize where it was a year ago. If that's where you're at, be sure people in your front row feel that same way. It doesn't matter if you're making $1 million and they're making $100,000 or vice versa. It's not about being on the same level, or if you've been in the business for a year and they've been in the business 10 years. That's not where this gets to play. That's not one of the metrics that you take into consideration here. You want people who are as committed to changing the world as you are. You want people who are as committed to doing everything it takes to move forward as you are. That's who you get to surround yourself with, because that kind of energy and that kind of momentum and a collective force, everyone moves forward, right? Rising tide raises all ships. You surround yourself with people who are going someplace. Now, even if you meet a millionaire and they're like, actually, I'm good. I've made my million. It's consistent. We're good. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're your people, just because you want to make it be a millionaire too. If they're done growing, you may want to look for someone who is still excited about growing. You may want to make sure people in your front row are as motivated and as committed as you are. The third kind of person you want to make sure is in your league is someone who can show you how to get there. Someone who has done it before for themselves, for other clients, for other people. You want to make sure there are people in your space, whether they are, if that's a coach, if that's just a leader of a Facebook group, you want to make sure there's someone in that front row, at least one person, who can say, no, this is how you get around this. This is how you go here. And don't take that left turn, take this right turn. Not because you have to do it the way they do, because you know me, that's not how I work. This is your path. But you want people who can understand what you're going through. It's part of why entrepreneurs play really well with other entrepreneurs. It's because they understand our crazy. Whatever it is your special things are, this isn't, it's always helpful to have partners and spouses and friends on the outside going, yay. But unless someone has actually been through it, other people through it, it's not quite the same. So make sure you have someone in your space, invite them in, pay them well, whatever it is, that says, I can show you the path. You get to decide how to decorate it. You get to decide how quickly you move on it, but I can show you how to get there. I can show you how to avoid these things, how to elevate this, how to sprint here and pause for a moment here. You want someone who's been on that path before. You want someone who that road, they're like, oh yeah, I know that road. Been there. Let's do this together. And that ties in the people who are as motivated as you are, committed as you are, because you're all on your own version of that path, your own version of that road to legend. And you want to make sure there's people who are like, oh, in order to get you to legend, let me introduce you to so and so. Let me bring in so and so to do a special training. Let me make sure that you have these connections because you're going to need them. Those are three kinds of people that I hope you have them. Go through the people in your immediate space, in your front row. In fact, I would even say the front 3 rows, because you're going to have a big team. It may take 3 rows to fill them all in. Be sure they're on your team, not just in your space. Make sure they have your best interest at heart. Make sure that they can help you, that they are as committed as you are, and that they can help you get further and where you want to go. That's the road to legend is paved with great team. It's how we get there. Legends don't do this on their own. So when you are ready to move that space, this is the kind of team, this is the kind of community, this is the kind of league that I encourage you to be a part of. In fact, to that end, I invite you to join the League of Legends. In this space, in this time more than ever, this is the time to not just link arms. It is the time to link heart and souls and change the world. It is the time to take a deep breath, determine what you really want, not necessarily what you think you should, or you told somebody a year ago that you did. Pause, take a breath, and think, what I really want to create in the world, the difference I want to make in the world is this. And then let's go get it together. So I invite you to join the League of Legends. The next wave actually launches in August, but if you want to join before that, anytime you join between now and the 24th of July, you get July as the bonus. So there's really great training. Special strategists are coming in to do trainings for it as well. They're an amazing group. I have never, I don't think I've ever experienced people lean in and support each other and help keep each other motivated and get through whatever muck they are in. I don't think I've ever experienced it like this. Not on this level. It's crazy cool. I invite you to be a part of that. If that speaks to you, I'll make sure there's a link in below. Either way, fill your front 3 rows with really intentionally. Don't let anybody come there that's just there for the cheap seats. If they're a part of the peanut gallery, get them out of there. Make sure that they're worthy of your first 3 rows. Until I see you in the league, rock on.